So let's get into it. Nice. Hey, Tom, were you able to view that one, or are you driving?
Both.
No, don't admit to viewing and driving. Say one or the other. Tom, did you see that one?
So it's okay. Yeah, sorry, I was having trouble getting my mute button to undo. I saw it, but the video wasn't smooth enough to really see what was going on. I saw people sitting at a table, and was Johnny lifting weights or something?
Yeah, exactly. Johnny's working out. All right, so
yeah, I'm gonna have to look those over later. They look like they're fun.
Yeah, you definitely should. Absolutely. So you wanna go first on this one today, Patrick?
Yeah, I can do that. So I think, Mike, you had talked about this book a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Or maybe you just were going over your haul video. I can't remember what your situation was with this.
Both. I talked about that issue number 1 a few weeks ago, and then I got number 2 yesterday.
Yeah, so I read 1 and 2 last night. And, this is by Cy Spurrier and Mateus Bergara. And as Mike had previously mentioned, there's no dialogue in these books.
What? Really?
I think that was your reaction last time too, Kevin.
Yeah. And that first issue, it's like 40 pages, right?
I think they're both oversized. I think they must all be oversized books. Yeah, there's a lot. Basically, you're just thrown into this world. There's this young girl, and she's protected by this. You don't know what he is. He's like a giant golem or a giant knight or a mech. That's sort of a mystery, although their mystery is partly revealed, I think, towards the end of issue 1. You get to see who's under the helmet, and I won't give anything away there. But it's basically, this, you don't know what's going on. They're just sort of, this golem is just sort of prodding through this fantasy land, lots of different environments, and they're running into creatures, monsters throughout their travel, and he's just protecting this little girl the whole time. You don't know why. You don't know where they're going. It seems like, from what I could gather, and this is maybe a problem with the no dialogue thing, you're kind of left guessing at some things, and it almost seems like they have to keep moving forward. They can't turn around and go back at any point. I'm not sure what's doing that, if I'm reading that correctly, if I'm interpreting that correctly, but it seems like they're just being pushed forward constantly, and encountering these creatures that this golem is protecting this little girl from. And you start to realize that there may be more to the title, Step by Bloody Step. There might be some meaning to that, and I don't want to give away that either. That's another bit of a spoiler there. A keyword being bloody. There's something to that, which may also be tied to this golem creature. You start maybe putting things together in your mind, possibilities that there might be something to this. It's a massive world. In issue 2, you finally start to see, the antagonists are the creatures of this planet, but by issue 2, you start to discover there's somebody after this little girl, possibly, or after both. Some more human type adversaries for them to contend with. And we talk about no dialogue, but they start speaking in glyphs and symbols. I don't know if it's translatable, if it's meant to be translatable. but there is dialogue between the humans, but you can't, you're kind of left out to dry. You don't know how to interpret it, if it can be interpreted, like I said. But it's a very nice looking book. I mean, this artist, Mateus Vergara, he's just basically, I think, draw anything, and he does. There's so many different environments for him to do, so many different creatures for him to do, and the design of the golem, the night character, is very cool. And I should also say that the little girl, I don't know if the series is supposed to be extending throughout a number of years, or this little girl is growing rapidly. Maybe I'll probably take another go around, quote unquote, read, and see if I can maybe figure that out a little bit better, because I'm just not sure if she's, like I said, growing exponentially fast, or you're
going through time that quick.
Yeah, you're going through time and looking at a number of her different years.
I read it. Yeah, I assumed that it just went through time. It covered a long period of time.
Okay.
But I've only read number 1, so I don't know.
Can I still get one easily?
Yeah, I have 3 copies of it.
Why don't you hook me up?
Oh, I got one for myself, and I got a couple for Exceller. So yeah.
Okay.
So,
now,
what did you?
I'm just intrigued by how this would work with no words at all. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, comics are a visual medium. I mean, that's.
I know, but with none at all, it just seems so crazy.
It's a lot of work on your part.
Yeah.
To figure the story out.
So, Mike, did you get that impression also, that they were not allowed to turn back, that they were being pushed forward by something?
Yeah. Yeah, they can't stop, and it's forward only.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
But it's a get it for me.
Okay.
It's a 4-issue series. We'll see how it all plays out. I like the first issue better before they started introducing the human protagonists in the second issue that were after them, but because you're even more confused. You don't know what their motivation, why they're after them. I guess that's part of the mystery, but we'll see where it goes in the final 2 issues of the series. But so far, so good. I was not familiar with either of these. I've heard of Cy Spurrier before, but I don't think I've ever read anything by him, and I was not familiar with the artist. But good book, and it's on. It's a get it for me.
Awesome. All right, Mike, you want to go next?
Yes.
Okay.
And I was hoping that Patrick would not do She-Hulk. So we're going to start with She-Hulk number 3.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, let's get the bad stuff out of the way first.
Oh, no.
All right. Rainbow Rowell, the writer. Rogue Antonio is the artist. So basically, what we have here is Jack of Hearts he's crashed at Jen's apartment. He's eating pizza, and then he's wearing one of her shirts. After 3 issues, I realized, this isn't a book for me. It's got a place. It's got an audience, definitely.
Yeah.
It's just I'm not it.
Yeah.
There was no action whatsoever.
Oh,
Basically, it's Jen at her office getting yelled at, and then her at her apartment sitting around on her couch talking to Jack of Hearts. And
Are you sure there's an audience for this?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
The artwork, it fits the style of the story, and the Jen Bartel covers are amazing. And so that's pretty much all. I don't want to talk too badly about it because I do think it is for some people
like
just
it.
not.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
So keep an eye out on eBay because issues 1 through 3 will be coming.
All right.
The second book I read, real quickly, is Lead City #1, and this
Man, I was gonna misread that. You ruined it for me.
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, what is that? Lead City. What is that?
Lead City. It makes so much more sense now.
Thanks.
Yeah. So this was a be on the lookout for January 6th. I threw this up there for.
I remember that. I remember it.
Yep. Because it's got everything going for it. You know, everything we like.
Snow,
Snow,
cowboys,
gunfights.
Yep.
So it's set in 1873. This character on the cover there, Coleman, him and his family are crossing. They're moving out somewhere else. You know, they're kind of moving, and they break down as much as wagons can, and they come across two cities. They're side by side. His wife's sick, so he goes down to town, to the one town, and it's completely empty, but you can tell there's been gunfights all over the place. He runs into one guy there, says go ahead over to the other town. There's a doctor. So he goes there, and that's where we find out the whole ordeal here. The tagline for this is before Deadwood, before Tombstone, before Durango, there was Lead City.
Oh,
Basically,
wow.
Lead City is an empty city, and they take 8 volunteers that go to the city the next day, and it's last man standing. So it's kind of like Battle Royale, the Japanese movie.
Yeah.
What's the other one that all the kids like these days?
Squid Games.
Yeah, Squid Games. Yeah.
Squid Games, and then there's that other one.
Hunger Games.
Hunger Games. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a last man standing type of thing, and the winner gets $10,000 or something. It's some large amount of money. So our boy Coleman here is the last one to chime in and say that he's going to take part. And
Like Quick and the Dead, then. Remember that movie?
It's been a long time since I've seen that. But this is basically the only, from what I can tell, the only people that go into the town are the gunfighters that are going to fight it out. So
that's pretty much how Quick and the Dead is too. So yeah, that sounds cool.
Right.
And
So
Quick and
go ahead.
Sorry. I was going to say Quick and the Dead had a bunch of kind of unique characters in it as well. It wasn't just kind of all normal cowboys. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've watched that movie. So She-Hulk, for me, it's a forget it. And Lead City is a get it.
Are you sure She-Hulk doesn't? It sounds like it's more of a hard pass.
It's a hard pass for me. It's a get it.
Yeah, you're only talking about you. Yeah.
It's okay for me. It's a hard pass.
Yeah, gotcha.
I'm kind of talking for other people. It's a review kind of. So I do think there's an audience for it.
Okay. All right.
So what'd you get? What'd you read?
I read Scorched #4. This is by the story by Sean Lewis, with art by Steven Segovia, and it's. I think I reviewed #1 actually, and this is a team up of all the different spawns. Did I review #1? Do you guys remember that?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah. It's got Medieval Spawn, She Spawn, the Redeemer, Gunslinger Spawn, and just Spawn that are kind of teaming up to go on this mission. And basically the part of the mission we're in is whoever their adversaries are have developed a very similar creature to a Sentinel from the X-Men. They're called the Sin Devourers, but basically they've been kind of set off by Spawn DNA. So they have this urge to just find Spawn, all the different types of Spawn, and go and destroy them all. So that's kind of where the story currently is. And it's good. The only thing I was thinking while I was reading this issue was, unless you have a backstory, it doesn't really give you too much backstory, So you know how obviously, books will give you a little snippet, whether it be a first page paragraph or little, parts of a frame that'll explain something briefly. I did notice there's none of that in here, but I enjoyed it because I'm fairly familiar with the backstory. It's and so it's still good for me. Art's good. It's Spawn,
I
typical
like how
Spawn.
there are so many different. There's She Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn. That Al Simmons Spawn is just Spawn.
Well, that's something else we kind of learned in this one too.
Oh,
Seems like there was kind of a teaser that, in fact, Gunslinger Spawn and Spawn are actually the same guy.
That's awesome.
We'll see. But it's good. But I got and I actually got this cover that I wasn't feeling too much, and I'm getting all those connecting covers for the X-Men homage, covers.
Yeah, I messed up.
What?
On getting those, which one comes out this week? I missed ordering it.
Well, they actually skipped one. There was one that didn't have an homage cover. Did you see that? It's like 7, I think, is the last homage cover. And so it's like 3, 4, 5, and 7, something like that. It's like odd. You'd be the man to correct me on that, but that's what I thought I noticed. So.
Yeah, I'll look into it.
But if you're a Spawn fan, this is definitely a get it. If you're a Spawn fan, this is a must-have. But for me, in general, so it's a must-have. But if you're not a big Spawn fan, it's probably forget it. It's not a hard pass because I think if you got it, you'd enjoy it. But it's a forget it if you're not a Spawn fan in general. So
I don't know with that plot twist you threw out there.
Maybe. So, I noticed I didn't cheat though, and Patrick barely cheated because he read the same storyline. You totally cheated. You went with 2 separate books. What was up with that? You wanted to have a good and a bad. Is that where this is going? Is this going to be called the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly segment? Yeah. We're gonna have 3 books.
Well, actually, I have Lead City #2 sitting down there, but I didn't have a chance to read it. I read She-Hulk the other day, and I wanted to do 2 books. So I thought, well, let me just go ahead and do the She-Hulk. And
I was expecting a Patch review this week. I almost read that instead as well.
I still didn't read it. I read the first page, and that's all further I got.
You read Patch, Pat?
No, didn't get it. Didn't pick it up.
What? You didn't even get it?
I was never interested in that period of Wolverine.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, looks like I'll be reading Patch. I'll let y'all know.
Okay.
Unless
looks like I will too. I'm sure that's got to inevitably happen someday where we read and one review the same book in the same week. So that'd be cool. My original suggestion for Get It or Forget It was to have like a book club. Anyway, we all pick a book and read it to then talk about the same book. But I don't know. Yeah.
All right, I picked She-Hulk 4. I'll read She-Hulk 4.
That's too bad because two sort of set up a kind of a mystery, and I figured it would be rolling along from there. So I don't think I have 3 yet, so I have that to look forward to, I guess.
I think 3 fell into a lot of what I think the young adult authors bring to the comic book medium. It falls into all of those. A lot of sitting around talking, drinking coffee, eating pizza and donuts. No action.
Yeah.
So.
Which, like you said, it's fine. Yeah. I mean, we don't have to buy them.
Right.
Yeah. And if they aren't making money on them, it's their choice to lose the money. But whatever, So.